What's going on, everybody? In today's episode of Bloons BTD Battles we got a brand new custom game mode brought to you by Jambite & Co., and this one basically combines multiple separate game modes into one. Actually, according to the screenshot, this game mode was made by a guy called Danny Parker. I don't know who he is, but if he's watching this right now, then let me just say job well done for creating such a dank game mode. Now let's take a look at what this game mode has to offer after having raved about it so much already. Here it's called Corrupt Monkeys, which I assume is because of the theme it's revolving around. Basically, the government of the Monkey Kingdom is pulling a Trump and fucking shit up left and right, causing a mass famine, inflation, and internal anti-government sabotage. As a result, the following gameplay features have been altered. Moab-class Bloons now take extra hits to kill, prices for towers and its upgrades are inflated by 5% each round, farms and upgrades from the hacker monkey no longer generate any cash, all towers die after being placed for 15 rounds, sellback for these towers is reduced to 10%, and Bloons are also faster by 10%. Luckily, to make up for these massive deficiencies, the starting eco is up to 400, but even then, it's still difficult as hell to survive very long with the added difficulty of these ridiculous AI Bloons and the fact that Bloons can also be sent out 2 rounds earlier. I assume that wasn't mentioned in the description because it was already overflowing at that point. Personally, I'd like to call this the short-lived nightmare game mode because that's exactly what it is, and then some more. Now, nightmare mode certainly isn't a new thing. It's been done as its own separate game mode multiple times before. The biggest thing that I'm intrigued about is the 15 rounds rule, hence why I mention short-lived, because if you're a BTD 5 player then you'll know of that damn special mission that rips your hair out the first few times you attempt it. I'm especially intrigued by the fact that they were able to implement this thing into battles in the first place. Cause a few months ago, while I wasn't being such a lazy ass and was actually creating my own mods, I tried digging into getting a short-lived mod to work, but to no avail. The towers simply didn't disappear after the amount of rounds I set. So with that said, how about we try out this mode on an easier map? That way we can see how the difficulty of this mode fares as we approach late game. I reckon it should be a lot easier once you get past the hump of the super short rounds of the early game. That's when your income will be high enough that the 5% increase per round from nightmare mode won't really matter. Now that I've explained all the meat about this juicy game mode, let's fill the time by talking loadouts. Despite not being able to generate money, interestingly enough Tyler still brought along the hacker monkey, which I suppose is fair because of how OP it is, even disregarding the income gain. Meanwhile, I've decided to go for the Sentry Ninja because it's a solid and cheap tower to defend the early game. Sorry, I mean Bowler Monkey, thanks to the 30 people in the comments who corrected me. Both of us also brought along the monkey sub solely for combo detection, but the reactor is definitely an A+ on this map. Although in hindsight I probably should have brought the village instead, and you'll see why I say that later on in this match. The only reason I didn't do so was because the combo upgrade is a hefty $1750 compared to the sub, which is $500, factoring inflation into the equation and cost of the earlier upgrades, and it's an even larger gap, quite a large amount of money to splurge on by round 12. Last is the Ice and Ace Tower for my end. Ice for the obvious OP 50% slow, and the modded Ace Tower just for the sheer raw power of its higher level upgrades, though to be fair I didn't really think it through and just picked whatever tower to fill in my final slot. So yeah, we're rolling in the dough right now, ladies and gentlemen. Despite all these handicaps, it turns out an extra 150 eco to start off with makes a world of a difference. 2,500 before round 20 is definitely quite a reach in terms of competitive classic games on this map. This should set us up pretty well for #epic late game, so I don't plan on rushing Tyler with anything, at least not until ramping kicks in. So while we wait for that, I just want to take this time to talk about another type of modding video that I haven't featured on this channel in a very long time. Do you guys remember the corner track map video? If not, don't worry, I've come to the rescue by putting it in the description and on the side of the video right now if you wanted to check it out. And it's exactly what you think it is, a custom map where balloons travel in a tiny bend on the corner of the map. And if you did recall the video, you may or may not recall the part in the video where I talked about how editing the placeable areas of the track was not possible due to the files not being readable to us. Ninja Kiwi was quite likely using their own track editor program to create these maps. Well, recently breakthroughs have been made, and thanks to a person in the BTD community called Tupper, he created an application that allows you to edit parts of the track to make it either land, water, track, or other unplaceable terrain. I think he made it for BTD5 custom maps, but I believe it should be compatible for battles as well. Anyways, hold that thought, I will continue this discussion in 1 minute because shit is about to go down. Remember how I said I wished I would have brought the monkey village instead of sub this game in hindsight? Well, this right here is the reason why. I haven't ingrained the AI balloon sense for every round in my head for this mod yet, so those round 33 DDTs caught me off by surprise, and it wasn't just convenient that literally none of my towers had any good popping power for them. Ice and sub is pretty much useless in terms of doing damage to them. The only saving grace there was the first strike ability, although I didn't have enough time to process what was going on before it was all over. As for the bowler monkey and monkey ace, you can write those off for the most part too because DDTs are immune to average darts and any explosions. I think the laser ace was the only thing on my track at the time capable of damaging them, but just one wasn't enough and that led to the death of me. Okay, that was way over a minute, but whatever, let's return real quick back to the topic of that custom map editor program. In short, the program converts .mask files in the data.jet to PNG files, and this PNG is color-coded to show where you can and can't place shit. Simply change the colors, convert it back to a .mask, and now you have yourself a true custom map, a very impressive application indeed. However, I tested it out just recently and it's this close to working like a charm. Right now when I translate the PNG back to a .mask file, it shifts the entire track including the balloon sends 200 units to the left and I don't know why, so if anyone who's used this application before knows anything about how to solve this issue then please let me know, although I doubt there's very many people out there who even know it exists at this time. With that said, if I do eventually get this thing to work properly, I'm totally going balls to the walls in custom map creations again, and I'll also need your help as for what the hell I should make, cause I only have so many ideas in my tiny brain. So here's what, the top commented suggestion in this video will have their map custom created by me and featured in some games on video. Actually, to give me more control over what to pick, I'll choose between some of the top commented ones in case you guys decide to upvote a troll suggestion to the top. So suggest away boys, hopefully I'll be able to resolve the issue soon. And now to finish off this long ass commentary and video, my lips are drying up from all this constant chitter and chatter. So have I mentioned to you guys how messed up these AI balloons are or what? Round 16 and 17 with these rainbow and 8-bit balloons are just plain ridiculous. I probably would have died right there and then had Tyler Knight fallen victim to the same shit just moments before me. I guess that's a hint that we should probably not greed so hard since we already had a shit ton of eco by normal standards. One more game to go before we call it a day. So I suppose I'll just quote-unquote live commentate this since I got nothing else on the table to say. As per Tyler's request, I specifically chose a map that didn't have water on this last game so neither of us could use the monkey sub. After all, that thing kind of makes combos a little too easy to get rid of, so I reckon it'd be nice to mix things up a bit. That didn't stop me from still bringing the bowler monkey with me. Cause it does help that the hacker monkey is an upgrade that grants combo detection to towers in a very tiny radius, so it's pretty much a miniature radar scanner for a slightly cheaper cost. However, you probably noticed by now I done goofed and placed my first hacker in the corner, so that meant a last-minute change of plans that requires a new hacker to be placed in the correct spot. But remember, it's nightmare mode, so that jacked up price means I'm short of the combo detection upgrade for round 12, and being the idiot I am, I used my monkey boost for nothing and sold my original hacker monkey to afford said upgrade without thinking about the fact I get peanuts for doing so. Note the 10% sellback in this mode. And the rest is history. At least I had fun at the expense of this ugly mistake. That's all that matters in the end. And your support too, of course. I appreciate anyone who actually made it to the end of this video. So if you're still here, let me boost your morale by wishing you a really spooky day.